to this very first video in the series called Create the Real You. My name's Carla Coulson and I'm a creative coach and photographer and have been for the past 16 years. And I'm super excited to talk to you today about creativity. We're all creators. There's no magical recipe. We're all born creators and we all can access creativity. And I believe creativity has been one of my greatest teachers. So I love to use it in everything I do, and it really has helped me get to the real me. So what I thought I'd like to talk to you today about is what is the real you. And I think many of us, when we're living our lives, I certainly was in the heart of my life when I felt like I wasn't the real me. I was living my life without intention. I sort of was just on a free flow. I sort of went where life took me, and I didn't really guide my life or know what I wanted from life. So it just sort of sometimes felt quite aimless. So when I which I'll tell you about my story in a minute, but when I really did get to the real me, I felt like I was living in true integrity with my life. Like I was honest with myself, my situations, and everything I did in life. It was what I believed in, as opposed to saying yes to things that I didn't care about, or doing things, saying yes and also feeling very resentful about things. So there was a lot of things that I was previously doing what I felt like I should do. So when you're really living the life for you, it's authentic, you're living in your integrity, and you're saying yes to things that you really care about. So that's one of the things that are really important with you. The other thing is doing things that really resonate with your soul. So you'll have more joy in your life. You'll have more happiness because you are doing things that you care about. And that could be you found your life purpose. It could be that you finally had the courage to leave a job that you don't like and you're doing things that you love. But the important thing is you are living your life that resonates with your soul. And of course, doing all of this gives you an inner rudder. So you really start to not only listen to your intuition, but you act on it. And I think that is one of the hardest things for many of us to do, is that we do get the intuitive messages, but to actually act on them takes courage. So there's a lot of courage in living with integrity and being the real you, because you often have to not be pleasing everybody anymore. And people pleasing is a very, very difficult thing, particularly for women of my age. I'm in my 50s, and we have been taught that we need to put everybody else first. So it can be very hard and sometimes feel very difficult to be the real you, because you are what you feel like is letting people down. But there are so many benefits to being the real you, and that is that you have got this natural rudder on where to go in life, what to say yes to and not to say no to. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about my story, and just so that you get to know me if you don't know me already. And so basically, up to the age of 35, I was living a totally different life. I had a business, I lived in Sydney, and I was becoming more and more unhappy. I was missing the things that were really important to me, like love and passion for what I do, having a tribe of people that I really felt connected to, and just feeling like my life counted. So the universe took care of that. Even though I was getting a lot of messages, I continued, like a lot of us do, to ignore them, till one day I actually got given the ultimate message, which was I won the best, the person who had eaten the most Thai takeaway at my local Thai restaurant for $19.99, and they gave me a gift. And that really pulled me up and made me realize that if I didn't change something in my life, I would be eating Thai and winning the only gifts, prizes, I would be Thai takeaway gifts. So I made a lot of changes in my life. I moved to, I went on a journey really. I didn't know what I wanted. So if you're watching this and you're kind of stuck and in chaos and you don't know what you want in life, that was me at 35. So I really didn't know where I wanted to go. But I decided to devote some time and energy to finding out that. So I made a list of things that I was curious about at that time. And I started to scratch around, and I went to the Outback, and I went to Italy, and I went to all sorts of different places. And I started just following what felt good. And that happened when I walked into a piazza in Italy. And I thought, this feels really good. I feel like I'm, in a funny way, I came home. That was just the very beginning, and I went to an Italian course and I kept following this curiosity, and by the end of, I took a year, I realized that the only thing I really liked doing was taking photographs. So I made a pact with myself and signed up to a photography school. And still wasn't till I was in the darkroom on one of the very first times that I developed a photo that then the magic kind of struck, and I was like, whoa, this is fabulous. I love this. This is amazing. So I went on this amazing creative journey for the next 16 years. I worked for all these beautiful magazines like Harpers Bazaar, Marie Claire, Gourmet Traveller. I got to travel around Europe and meet wonderful, beautiful people and become a creative person when I had believed my entire life I wasn't creative at all. So I know for a fact that each and every one of us are creative if we choose to access that creativity. So this whole journey led me to becoming a coach about 4 or 5 years ago when I again had another thing that happened to me. I became ill with autoimmunes from overwork and burnout because of a part of my story that I hadn't healed. And this led me to really wanting to help people go on their own journey, because that had been one of the themes that people had asked me about all these years is, how did you do it? How do you keep doing it? How do you keep changing? So I became a coach. And what I love to teach is to help you to find the real you. But I believe that creativity is one of the most joyful, fun ways to help you start today to access the real you. So that's one of my tools. I love creativity. It's amazing. You can't take photographs or do any sort of creativity in the future, and you certainly can't do it in the past. And that's one of the things I believe it was the creativity, the daily creativity of taking photographs when I was changing my life that actually kept me grounded in the present. So I was out taking photographs so on a regular basis, on a daily basis, and the fear, because what happens is when we go into the future, we get frightened. What's going to happen? How's it going to work out? But when we're in the present, we're pretty good with that. We're in reality and we are normally okay with that. So I spent a huge amount of time in the present because I was taking photographs so often. That I was totally comfortable a lot of my hours of the day with where I was at. And this, I believe, was one of the greatest things that allowed me to transform my life, because I was often in reality, not just future tripping in my head. The other thing that creativity taught me, and I believe will teach every single one of you if you go and start living a creative life, is that it's a questioning, a daily questioning. Who am I? What are my values? And I remember things like I'd go and photograph, or I'd ask myself, would I want to photograph somebody who was homeless on the street? And I'd ask myself, will that be me one day? Or will I be invading their privacy if I take that photograph? So I had this constant questioning, yes or no, how do I feel about that? Who am I? And so creativity and photography, particularly for me, gave me the chance to ask myself a lot of questions and really get to know myself. And it became very clear yeses and nos. So that's the thing that I'd love to encourage you to do is to start living creatively. And that can be, get off this video and go and bake a cake, or it could be, pick up a set of paints, or go to the garden and plant a garden and look and put your hands in the earth and choose the colours, choose the flower. What flower do you want to grow? So all these little choices means that you're in the present and that you're really connecting to the creativity and to yourself. So that's the very first thing that I want to say. I really look forward to seeing you in many of the videos that I hope to present. But getting to the real you is an extraordinary journey. It's probably the best journey you can ever go on in your life. And when you get there, it's always an evolution, and I don't want to ever say that the journey ends, but certainly getting a big part of your story gives you an enormous confidence in how you want to live your life. So go out today, go do something creative, go plant a garden, make a cake, paint a picture, go take some photographs, whether it's on your iPhone or whatever, and just go and be in life and be mindful. So sending you much love. I look forward to seeing you again. Bye.